Hello, this is Anna Shi. So today's topic is a study on the educational implementation of intangible cultural heritage to promote gender equality in the post-epidemic era, taking China and Malaysia as an example. First, as you can see, there are three aspects as an example of SDG. First, quality education. Second, gender equality. Third, inequality reduction. As you can see, there are so many objectives of sustainable development. So today's topic is about a study on the educational implementation of intangible cultural heritage. It's divided into the six following parts: abstract, introduction, literature review, research methodology, references, and appendix. First, let's come to the abstract. So there are so many objectives of sustainable development goals. And for this study, this abstract is talking about the education and gender equality. That is two necessary foundations for peace, prosperity, and sustainable development. This is not only an issue of fundamental human rights, but also an issue of an urgent need to be addressed in the current post-epidemic era. However, each country has a different cultural background, educational system, and cultural heritage, which makes every culture unique. So cultural cognitive learning is closely related to being educated, regardless of race, skin, color, and gender, because all people have cultural cognitive power. Therefore, the transmission and dissemination of culture do not distinguish between national boundaries or gender. As you can see, there are two pictures of Chinese cultural heritage. And gender equality is essential because it relates to world sustainable development. However, there are inequalities in every country. The focus of the study is to investigate how educational equality comes from a cultural inheritance perspective and then analyze the pace of cultural education. Moreover, the study will explore the contribution. Next, come to the Chapter 2, Introduction. So, an introduction is divided into the three aspects: background of the study, problem statement, and objectives and significance of the study. First, background of the study. In this study, we take Malaysia and China as examples and use their cultures as entry points to analyze different ways of cultural transmission, educational systems, and development of gender equality. So starting from the intangible cultural heritage, like traditional cultural heritage of both countries, we can analyze different educational philosophies and inherent cultural thinking of population due to cultural differences to conclude whether the promotion of gender equality in both countries is related to cultural heritage and educational attainment. So in particular, it's essential to note that intangible cultural heritage reflects each country's culture and is not narrowly defined in terms of few or one intangible heritage item. The dissemination and transmission of culture can be expressed as a dissemination and transmission of intangible heritage. As you can see on the right of the slides, that is sending the kinship pictures. Okay, second problem statement. As you can see, there are 5 points of problem statement. It's about the commonalities and gender equality is affected in cultural heritage and whether the current implementation pace of education reform and the intangible cultural heritage mode can be well connected. And also, What positive role does the protection and development of intangible cultural heritage play in the exploration of gender equality and educational equality? So the gaps in the curriculum of intangible cultural heritage is concentrated in the middle school stage of various countries. So can changing the situation further promote the sustainable development of national and global cultural education? That is a question. Okay, next is our conceptual framework. Cultural tolerance is divided into the three aspects: cultural innovation, cultural development, and cultural protection. So according to the conceptual framework of the study, we can conclude the objectives and significance of the study. That is 6 points of the objectives and significance. First, culture plays a guiding role in education. Second, cultural inheritance drives gender equality. Third, intangible cultural heritage is a unique collection of cultures in various countries. Fourth, the success of cultural inheritance and protection means that the construction system of the country's national identity is relatively complete. Fifth, most countries are faced with a contradiction between absorbing advanced international experience and maintaining national cultural characteristics. Sixth, the establishment of network and information platforms is an important cornerstone of cultural dissemination and education continuation in the post-epidemic era. Okay, let's come to the chapter 2, literature review. In this chapter, as you can see, it is divided into the following points. That is the current situation of education in China and intangible cultural heritage protection policies of China and Malaysia. Third, the influence of cultural inheritance. Fourth, common features of the two countries. So first, as you can see, this current situation of education in China. This is statistics of Chinese educational current situation. There is a diagram of the publication number of a publication. As you can see, the higher educational law of the People's Republic of China was adopted at the fourth meeting of the Standing Committee of the Ninth National People's Congress on August 29, 1998. And in Malaysia, that is two differences about public university and private university. As you can see, professional concentrates in the public university and private university, that is colleagues. So there is a differences between the two university systems. Okay, second, protection policies in China and Malaysia. Both countries make efforts about intangible cultural heritage protection. So it is significant for the two countries to make or attach great importance to the intangible cultural heritage. And next, for China's intangible cultural heritage protection policies and tools, there is so many formulas and tools and policies demonstrated on these slides. So you can have a look. Okay, third, that is impact of cultural heritage in Chinese and Malaysia on education. It's divided into the three aspects. That is protecting gender equality and intangible cultural heritage entering primary and secondary schools, and intangible cultural heritage entering colleges and universities. And the fourth, that is common characteristics of Chinese and Malaysian cultures. So intangible cultural heritage is important for both countries. It has been passed on from generation to generation by countries, communities, groups, and sometimes individuals through languages, literature, and dance, games, myths, etiquette, and customs, and so on. So its dynamics shared and collectively recognized. As you can see, it's a sharing and promotion of cultural heritage. So cultural transmission is a career. Most cultures rely on dance, ceremony, music, and handicrafts. No matter how the career is presented, it's guaranteed that the wisdom of people or country will be passed down from generation to generation. So race and gender are all contributing to the inheritance of certain cultural heritage. So the promotion of the culture is a process of gathering fear from all people. And now the culture of both China and Malaysia, including ICH, is in a flourishing trend, which can provide the reference basis for development of intangible heritage. And chapter 3, that is research methodology. So the research methodology plays a vital, important role of the thesis. So the study uses literature research, questionnaires, interviews, and content analysis method to describe and present the cultural current situation, problems, dilemmas, and factors influencing the promotion of gender equality in the cultural heritage of China and Malaysia. So as you can see, there are three main research methods, and now the details of the three main research methods is demonstrated in the diagram. So the aims of the research, objectives and tools, and the procedures are all different. Okay, so it provides a very comprehensive and complete version of the topic, the educational implementation of intangible cultural heritage to promote gender equality in the post-epidemic area. So the next is the references and appendix.